Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for YouTube. Today I'm going to be doing skillet bread corn fritters. Now, I know that's a mouthful, but this is going with, I'm making oxtail soup. And I think I have a recipe online for oxtail soup. And I just had a taste for a twist on the cornbread that I'm going to be eating with the oxtail soup. So that's why I'm doing this skillet bread corn fritters. So let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need cornmeal, of course, and I always use cornmeal mix. And I do have a little bit of flour sitting out here because I don't like it to be real grainy. So I add like about a tablespoon of flour to it in order to help it not be so grainy. Salt, milk, green pepper, red pepper, and onions, 1 egg, and corn. Now, this is going to be cooked in a skillet, but all of these ingredients are going to be in it. I'm going to go away and cut up my vegetable portion of this. That has to be sauteed, and I'm going to go ahead and cook my corn because it only takes a small amount of time in order for this to fry up, but you want to make certain that everything inside of your cornbread is actually cooked. You don't want it raw. So I'll be right back. I'll meet you at the stove when I get everything all cut up. Be right back. Okay, now I'm at the stove and I'm getting ready to saute up my vegetables. As you can see, I have my corn and it's in this back pot and it's already cooking. I'm going to allow it to cook just until all of the liquids until they disintegrate. And what I did was I just poured the whole can of corn with the liquids over in it, so that you don't need a measurement for that. Just once it disintegrates out, then I'm going to go ahead and consider it done enough to put into my cornbread. Now here I have my green peppers, my onion, and my red pepper, and I want to saute that up. Now over in that back skillet, I have enough cooking oil in the skillet in order to fry up my cornbread patties, and that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be cornbread patties, and as you can see, that's maybe about a fourth of a cup of oil that I have in the bottom of there. Now this side of my stove, it cooks kind of fast, but I'm doing it on this side, so I'm just going to saute this up, and we're talking roughly about 3 or 4 minutes, and that'll be enough just to get it limp. You don't have to take it all the way down to being caramelized, and that's enough time for me just to get it cooked enough to go into my cornbread fritters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this. When I get done with it, I'll meet you back at the stove. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back, and as you can see, my vegetables have cooked. The crunch, there's still a little bit of crunch in it, but they've cooked whereas they're not raw. When I get ready to put them inside of my corn fritters, it's not raw. So this is just like it should be. Now I did put a tablespoon of oil in the bottom in order to cook these up, and you still see it. All of that I'm just going to pour, whatever's left, I'm going to pour it over in with the cornbread when I get ready to mix that up. Now, as far as the corn is concerned, all of the water has boiled out of the corn. So that's ready. I'm just going to allow it to cool for a little bit, and then I'll put everything in with the corn bread mix. So now that we're ready, everything is done, I'll meet you back at the table so we can mix this up, and then we'll fry it up. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back. I'm at the table, and I have everything here that I need in order to make my cornbread fritters. So I'm just going to add, this is my cornmeal, and I have 2 cups of cornmeal inside of here. You know, I use a self-rising cornmeal, so that's what's in here. To that, I'm going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt to that. And because I don't like it real grainy, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour, because I like it more like a pancakey type taste than a full grainy taste. Now I did add some water here just in case I need it. Don't know if I will. This is my milk. I'm going to go ahead and put some milk in here. And you don't want this to be soupy like a cornbread mix. You want it to be rather stiff. And I have 1 egg. And the reason why I have the egg is because the egg helps to hold it together. Now, That's really a no-no if you're a new cook. What you normally do is take your eggs and you burst them into a bowl and then you put them in there. And the reason for that is because you don't want to use an egg that is rotten on the inside. And once you put it in here, you would have messed up all of your mix because you didn't do it the proper way. But you'll see me do it like that over and often. Alright, I'm going to add just a little bit more milk to this because I need this to be just a little bit stiffer than what it is. And it's going to stiffen up even that much more when I add the bell pepper to it and I add the corn to it. So, give it a little bit more milk. And in here I had like 1.5 cups of milk. Now you can make this with milk or water. If you do it with water, your taste won't be as flavorful as it is if you use milk. So that's the reason why you see me using the milk. Now I also want you to look at the batter because see, the batter is not soupy, which is the way you would do it if you were doing regular cornbread. You would have this soupy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and add in my peppers. And I'm going to give that a little mix. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in my corn. And this was 1 can of whole kernel corn. Now, you may not want to use that much corn. You don't have to. I like corn. So I'm using that much. Now, when you add those ingredients, it may thin out some, which is exactly what mine did. Mine thinned out a little bit, see? I don't want it thinned out, so I'm going to go ahead and add some more cornmeal. And you can do the same thing. This is just like 1 more scoop of cornmeal. We'll see if that thickens it back up. If it doesn't, then I may add a little bit more. Now this is going to give me probably about 10 of the patties that I want. So this is probably going to give me just what it is that I want. This does not take a large amount of time to cook. Now that I have my green peppers and my red peppers in here and they're already prepared, and I have my corn in here and that's already cooked, then the bread itself, when I fry it up in the pan, that's only going to take maybe about 5 minutes to 7 minutes total. So that's why you want to cook your ingredients before you put them over into your bread mix. Okay, now I need you to look at this because this is exactly the stiffness that you want it to be. See? That's exactly the stiffness that I want. Because this will make the patty just like I need it to be. So this is prepared, and now what I'm going to do is to meet you at the stove so I can fry it up. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back and I'm going to go ahead and put my fritters over in the pan. And I don't want them to be widespread. Okay, and that's how hot you really need your cooking oil to be. And I want to tell you, I'm using used cooking oil. So this is not new cooking oil. This is used. So there you go. And you want to make certain that you have cooking oil all the way around it. So I'm just going to tilt my pan so that it'll go all the way around. Now I'm going to allow this to fry up, and I think that's going to take probably about 2-3 minutes, and then I'll bring you back when I get ready to flip it on the other side. So I'll be back in about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, now I'm back and it's about time. It's been about 2 minutes and it's time to flip this over. How do you know when it's time to flip your patties over? Same way you do with pancakes. When you see the little bubbles start to form right on the outside, you can see looks like the grease has penetrated through and it's coming through on the other side. Or if you tilt it and it's not running, see it's not running, then you know that it's time for you to flip that corn patty over. So I'm just going to flip these over, and at that point it's not sticking. Okay, but I had a taste for this, and like I told you, I'm doing oxtail soup this time, So I wanted to have something with it. And I always eat cornbread with my oxtail soup. So I wanted to have something that had just a little bit of a different twist to it. So that's why I did this. Okay, now I'm going to allow that to cook on that side. And then when I take it out, I'll bring it back to show you what it looks like. Okay, now you can see you run your grease all around it. And if you run out of grease, just add a little bit more to your skillet. Okay, because you want this to be fried up and you don't want your bread to be burned. So you just allow it 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll be right back when I get ready to take these out. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back and my bread is ready to take out. And how do I know that it's ready to take out? Because when I give it a little push, it's hard. Okay, it's hard on the top. That means that my center part has cooked. And this is a thick type of patty. So you want to make certain that your center part as well as your outer parts is actually cooked. So if you give it a little push, there's nothing squishing from the sides, then that means that it's ready to take out. So we're going to take these patties out. Now I'm going to take out those little couple of crumbs that I had in there. Taking that out. And then I'm going to add just a little bit more of my used cooking oil to this. Push it around just a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some more patties to my pan. And you see the thickness? See, it's thick. That's the way you want it to stay. It's thick. And this is good. I mean, even if you're eating beans, this is a good way to make it. It's a nice little treat. Especially black-eyed peas, because black-eyed peas and corn go together. So, if you want to put just a twist on your bread and you're making black-eyed peas, or you're making what I'm having today, oxtail soup, and I am going to dish you up a bowl and show you how it actually looks. This is the perfect meal to have with it. Now, I'm going to go ahead, since I've showed you how to do the first, I'm going to go ahead and finish up cooking all of this bread. But, you know, I've repeated this so many times every time I'm frying. Listen for the rain sound. Don't let it get any louder than that. Because if it's any hotter than that, it's not only going to burn your bread, the grease is going to pop all over every place. And that's something you don't want. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all fried up. And when I get them all fried up, I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back, and this is the last of my patties. They're ready. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer them over. And there you go. That is my green pepper, red pepper, cornbread fritters. So that's all done. Now I'm going to serve this with some oxtail soup, which is what I normally do. So I'll bring it back in a minute, and I'm going to dish you up a bowl and show you how it came out. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back, and I moved it to this side of the stove. It's a little bit hot, but I wanted to be able to show you. And I really do think that I have this recipe online. This is my oxtail soup. If I don't have it online, I'll put it online for you guys, but I really think that I do. See how thick it comes out. So I'm going to dish you up a bowl of this. The oxtails. And I have carrots and corn. That's why this bread goes so good with it, because I have carrots and corn and noodles and potatoes and everything down in here. Okay, I'm going to get a big oxtail and put on top of this. There's one to go right on top. There's my oxtail soup. And here is my skillet bread, cornbread fritters. And, or skillet bread corn fritters. Okay. And it has the green peppers, onion, bell pepper over in it, along with the corn. And because there's corn into this bowl of oxtail soup, it's going to go very well with that. Okay. Just wanted to show you a little bit different twist and show you what I was having for dinner tonight. And I think if you try this, I think you're really going to enjoy it. One thing that you do need to remember, have enough oil in your skillet when you get ready to fry up your bread, because that will prevent your bread from sticking on the bottom and it'll be easier to turn. Okay, so I'm having my oxtails. I know I'm going to enjoy them, and I got them with my cornbread fritters. So as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for you too. Bye.